We are back, and I know that this looks very different from what I usually upload, but the laptop that I usually record this on is currently being fixed, and right now my voice is all stuffy, but we have some breaking news to cover. Deshaun Watson gets an 11-game suspension, which includes a $5 million fine. I read a tweet from an NFL insider that said that Deshaun Watson might have accepted a higher fine if it meant playing less games, but I guess that wasn't possible. And this wasn't ruled by Peter Harvey, who the NFL appointed to actually rule on this case after they appealed Sue Robinson's decision. This was actually negotiated by the NFL and the Players Association, which seems like that's going to be the play moving forward for personal conduct policies that the NFL doesn't agree on the decision that Sue Robinson makes first. It seems like the NFL might appoint somebody else to technically make the decision, but I think it's going to be the Players Association and the NFL kind of negotiate, and the players camp obviously negotiating a suspension afterward. It seems like the NFL definitely wants to avoid the possibility of the NFLPA suing them, even if that is kind of a non-factor. I don't think a lawsuit from the Players Association would get anywhere, but it's always nice to not have that, and I feel like negotiating with the Players Association, even after appealing Sue Robinson's decision, does kind of do that. It kind of ensures that the Players Association at least feels like they're included, even if it's not necessarily what they would like at first. So as far as what this means for on the field, the earliest Deshaun Watson can come back would be in the 12th game, and very coincidentally, that is December 4th against the Houston Texans in Houston. Which is very interesting. That would be a very interesting week leading up to that. Definitely the crowd in Houston will definitely be prepared for that one. That could galvanize the Texans, who don't really have that great of a roster, but that if they're building some they're building some chemistry or whatever, they can be running on adrenaline and maybe pull off an upset against the Browns. As far as what this means for the Browns weeks 1 through 11, yes, their best quarterback won't be playing on the field, but I do believe that their roster is decent enough that they could tread around 500, whether slightly above or below, just kind of depends on how the football bounces, I guess. But I do think that the roster is decent enough to where this doesn't automatically mean it's a lost season per se. There's already been some weird BS apologies and statements. Well, Deshaun Watson essentially walked back his apology that he made like a couple days ago. That was already viewed as really bad. And the Haslams, they were, while they were answering questions about, Deshaun Watson's alleged behavior or whatever, Jimmy Haslam throws in there like, you got to keep in mind that he's 26 and he's a very high-level NFL quarterback, which is, tremendous, and it's great. But, obviously the Browns they were willing to take a PR hit. They were willing to take a hit on optics the instant that they, knew that they were trading for him and giving him this contract that he couldn't say no to. But I feel like, Jacoby Brissett is a decent enough quarterback. I feel like a healthy Jacoby Brissett is better than an injured to hell and back Baker Mayfield. I'm not saying Jacoby Brissett is better than Baker Mayfield when they're both fully healthy, but the Baker Mayfield that we got last year wasn't too great because his body was functioning on probably less than 50% if I had to guess, I suppose. Hopefully that this quells a lot of Jimmy G rumors. I know there's going to be some, because some people will say like, well, Jimmy G is technically a little better than Jacoby Brissett for these 11 games, but Jimmy G hasn't been here for the entire offseason. He doesn't know the offense very well. Jacoby Brissett's been there. Jimmy G isn't that much of an upgrade, and also Deshaun Watson is coming back in the middle of the season, so. And also the Browns could use the cap space that they do have this year for positions that are in much more dire need. Like the center position is, completely decimated at the moment. I feel like the wide receivers could use some more depth, especially with the injury to Jakeem Grant. And defensive tackle could be a position where if Perrion Winfrey isn't an immediate playmaker in day one, then they might want to invest in a defensive tackle as well. I think and Ndamukong Suh and Sheldon Richardson are still out there. But anyway, yeah, we all kind of knew that a longer-term suspension than 6 games was coming. It just was a matter of how much more long-term. The NFL was apparently offering a 12-game suspension with an $8 million fine before Sue Robinson's decision. That's come down a little bit with 11 games and $5 million. But obviously for the Browns on the field, this isn't the worst-case scenario. By the way, this game is Mutant Football League, where you see everybody like turning huge and like killing each other and stuff. It's very entertaining to watch and stuff. Built and maimed in America, whatever. Yeah. So basically, this was kind of what we all knew was coming. Hopefully, this is an end to the Deshaun Watson saga. Again, I don't think, since this wasn't negotiated with Deshaun Watson's camp and the Players Association, they're not going to end up suing the NFL or anything like that. So we finally have some clarity. We can, there will be discussions and debates back and forth about what Deshaun Watson is alleged of doing and how the Browns handled it and how he handled it. And I think those are valid conversations for people who know, what the hell they're talking about, which I don't. So I'll just stray away from that, at least for now, on this channel. I'm not a legal expert. I tend to think that he seems like, at the very least, he's kind of he doesn't do things that he's supposed to. At the very, very least, he seems like a kind of a scummy guy. But what can you do, really? I feel like at least we have some clarity. At least this is going to be it, probably. And, we don't have to deal with, what's the suspension going to be? Is he going to be on the field? That's all done and over with. As is this video. Thank you all for watching. If you made it this far, please feel free to leave a like and a subscribe if you enjoyed the video and like to see more. Let me know what you think about the Deshaun Watson suspension and the whole debacle that the Deshaun Watson with the Browns saga has been so far. Feel free to leave that in the comments down below. Thank you all again for watching if you made it this far, and have a good one. I will see you with the next video.